Take one. Our next technique is side piercing kick, Yapcha Juruki, coming from L stance. And this technique is something you're going to have to make friends with as you journey through Taekwondo. It's going to come up over and over and over again, and it's one of the most commonly used techniques in our martial arts. So let's get started. Right leg behind for me, and let's have a look at a couple. So a couple of the key principles, particularly as we travel forwards and backwards now, rather than kicking from the spot. The first thing that we're going to look at, and actually I'll perform it from this side so we can see, is that the foot of the kicking leg should reach the height of the standing knee on the way through the stance. And what that means is the knee that or the leg that I'm going to be kicking with, that knee is already well on its way up. As I move through, I'm continuing to pivot my standing leg. And then I rotate and corkscrew out my heel to the target. So it's going to look like this. It's an unusual motion. From that knee position here, the rotation of the standing foot, the knee lifting, and me extending my leg creates kind of a corkscrew motion this way towards the target. Important thing for you to think about is go fairly directly. Bring the knee up and through the middle and rely on the twisting or the pivot of your standing foot to get the foot directly out to the target as it should. We're going to coordinate all of that with an arm extended over the top of the kick. And this helps us to keep our posture and balance as we move throughout the technique. It keeps us tall. As we perform these, we want to get used to going forwards and backwards. So when traveling backwards, it's a little bit different. It's going to look much more like the stationary version of the kick. I don't want to bring my foot back to here to begin with, but rather lift my knee immediately, start to pivot my standing leg, and I'll extend my hands. And then I move back. So once again, and back. You will find, probably like I just did there, that recovering your balance and moving backwards can be a bit more difficult and can be a bit more jumpy or stop-start. And it's quite a skill to have the control to bring the knee back in smoothly as you pivot your foot. And it's very worthwhile practicing that. A little easier going forward, a little more difficult coming back. So do give this technique plenty of time. The height is not the most important factor here. Okay, we'll be very happy, especially at the yellow belt stage, if we have a nice strong kick extended on the hip level, but you move in the right way. Take one.